All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig in a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er film review on their win over the Seahawks on Thursday night. And we'll start this video on the defensive side of the ball. Check out Pig in a Pickle. Two locations, Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig in a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Go say hi to Damon and Mary. Tell them that Larry Krueger sent you. And this video is brought to you by Mojo Fantasy. I'm loving Mojo Fantasy. Check that link in the description. Make sure you use the promo code Krug, K-R-U-E-G, and they will match you up to $100. Once again, Mojo Fantasy, a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. Let's talk a little bit about the Niner defense. Man, if there was a theme Thursday night from the 49er defensive effort, it was flat out that it was a total team effort. It really was. It wasn't one guy doing it. It was basically everybody. And let's just run it down. I mean, let's start with Mooney Ward. I thought Mooney Ward had maybe one of his best games as a 49er. He was excellent all night against DK Metcalf. Never let Metcalf get rolling. Just in his hip pocket, up and down the field, constantly breaking on the ball, constantly smothering coverage all over DK. And in fact, I really believe that Mooney Ward was signed by the 49ers almost specifically with DK Metcalf in mind. DeAndre Hopkins as well, because he was in the division at the time. But I think the Niners were looking for that big corner who could match up on the outside with the big physical DK Metcalf. And they found him in Mooney Ward. And Ward was fantastic all night. PBUs left and right. As I said, he was just all over Metcalf from the start. Almost had a pick six on that first series, or almost had an interception, I should say, in the first series. But he was all over him all night. Metcalf could never get separation. Metcalf doesn't run the full tree. And I think Ward understands that. He's mentally prepared to go against Metcalf. He's big enough to battle Metcalf. He's fast enough to battle Metcalf. And he was smothering all night long on DK Metcalf. So that was number one. Number two, I love the way that Dre Greenlaw and Jair Brown were playing in the run game. They had a beautiful combo tackle on DJ Dallas on a key third down Thursday night that forced a punt. You know, the Niners missed Talanoa Hufanga. There's no question. But Jair Brown at strong safety may be better against the run. He's definitely a little bit more physical of a striker in the run game. And then Greenlaw is just absolutely an all-pro linebacker. He's one of the best linebackers in the game. There's no doubt in my mind. And those two guys had a beautiful combo tackle on DJ Dallas on a key third down and then forced Seattle to punt. And, you know, part of the struggles the Niners had against Minnesota and Cincinnati, they couldn't get off the field on third down. Sometimes it's just as simple as making a tackle. And Greenlaw and Brown had that beautiful tackle on Dallas on that key third down. Another one, other guys that really stood up Thursday night, Fred Warner and Diamador Lenore also had a beautiful combo tackle on DK Metcalf on a third down that forced another punt. And Lenore has been very, very strong as a tackler. Warner's having an all-pro season. But, man, since the Niners put Ambry Thomas outside and moved Diamador inside to the slot, he's really been able to demonstrate his ability as a tackler. He's a physical tackler. He's a hitter. He shows a lot more physical nature to his game against the run that he ever did in his first 2 years in the league. So Lenore just, to me, looks like he's really coming on. And then Warner's been great all year. And they had a beautiful tackle on DK that got the Niners off the field on a third down. Javon Hargrave had a series unto himself where he basically owned the action, and he was the reason that they forced a punt. On the first down play, he had a solo tackle against the run. On the third down play, he had a huge sack to force the punt. And Hargrave has been better against the run the last couple of weeks, and he's starting to become a real force on the inside as a pass rusher. Have you noticed that since the 49ers have picked up Chase Young, that Hargrave and Armstead have gone off? I mean, those two interior guys now with Bosa and Young on the flanks they're getting one-on-one blocks, and Hargrave can beat one-on-one, and so can Armstead. And to me, it's not a coincidence that suddenly Chase Young shows up and Hargrave starts playing like the player we saw in Philadelphia a year ago, and Armstead's playing the way he played in 2019 when he had double-digit sacks. To me, it's really noticeable how much better those defensive tackles have been since the arrival of Chase Young. Another play, I thought Nick Bosa and Cleveland Farrell had a key third down combo sack to force a punt. Bosa got there first. Farrell cleaned it up. Another one where Bosa was really, really strong in this game, I thought, against the run and the pass. But he had a huge third down combo sack with Clee that forced a punt, and that was huge. Then there was another play where Fred Warner and Eric Armstead combined on a combo sack on 3rd and goal that forced a field goal. It looked like Seattle was potentially going to take some momentum, and in the second half, and here comes Warner and Armstead on 3rd and goal, and they get a combo sack, and suddenly it's time for Myers and the field goal unit out there. I thought that was one of the huge plays in the game. Randy Gregory, one of the newest 49ers, had an incredible tackle for a loss on a shovel pass in the fourth quarter. That was a huge play in the game. Gregory is really a high motor guy, and he's starting to play some really good ball. Kevin Givens had a sack, or maybe it was a half sack, where he just came right up the gut and went nose to nose with Geno and brought him to the ground and was credited with the sack. That was a huge play. And then, Nick Bosa, on the 4th and 1, gets off a block, shoots the gap. It's 4th and 1. They hand the ball to Charbonnet. He starts going east-west, and Bosa tripped him up, brought him to the ground. Beautiful tackle for a loss, and the 49ers took over control of the football. So those 9 for sure stepped up. And then let's talk about Ambry Thomas, because this was my favorite play of the game defensively for the 49ers. And I'm going to share the screen on this one because this one is worth watching again. I'm playing this off of my Twitter. Here's Ambry mirroring the receiver. Here's a play. It's 35-yard line. The Seahawks are on their own 35-yard line. And watch Ambry Thomas. There's no wasted footwork on this. He has calm feet. He plays with a ton of poise. He had not one misstep here. Steps in front of this pass for an interception. Watch the all 22 on this one. So you got Geno dropping back to pass. Kinlaw's in his face. Ambry steps right in front of Lockett and picks it off. Here's the end zone wide. You got Kinlaw at the right defensive tackle. Look at him push the center back into the face of Geno. And Geno, now it's on his backside, so it's not necessarily in his face. It's more behind his back. But he feels that pressure, and Kinlaw brings him to the ground. There we go. We get the sideline wide once again. Watch this again. Here's the end zone. Look at the bull rush from Kinlaw. And then Geno gets the ball out. And Ambry just has perfect footwork. And if you watch the sideline wide version of it, look at he had no wasted movement, kept his eye on Geno, had perfect body position, flips his hips. He's right in position to make the play on the ball, and he could have came away with the PBU, but he's so quick and he had so little wasted movement that he actually jumps the route and gets 2 hands on the ball and makes the catch and then gets down. Look at this bottom of the screen. No wasted movement at all. None. Ambry Thomas is a player. And this is a tremendous play by Kinlaw as well, because Kinlaw gets the center and he just bull rushes him. But from the sideline wide, and you can see Ambry, he does a couple back pedals, turns his hips, boom, sees it's going to be a little out, flips back around, plants his foot, no wasted motion, even though his body control, the momentum is taking him down the field, but he's got such good footwork on it that he gets both hands on the ball, makes the catch, and stays in bounds. I mean, this is absolutely one of the best plays of Ambry's career. I know he made a play to intercept a ball in the playoff game. He had that beautiful play in the forced fumble and return in Jacksonville. But this play is even better. This is even better. Why? Because There's so many young corners that would have wasted movement, 2 steps, 3 steps, and just backpedal, looking inside. Up, the ball's coming out, 2 hands on the ball, get down, get 2 feet down, and now we're going the other way. Huge, huge play by both Kinlaw and Ambry. I mean, and once again, you got Armstead commanding the double team. So what does that mean? That means Kinlaw's getting a one-on-one, and Kinlaw just bull rushes. Look at him, he bull rushed that center back into the lap of Gino like he was nothing. Like he was nothing. Now, I don't even know if Gino even sees Kinlaw or if that's after the fact. Here's the center. Here's the end zone wide. I don't know that if he felt Kinlaw's presence or not, or if he wanted to make that throw. It was a timing pass and the ball was coming out. But to me, this is all Ambry. I mean, it's great that Kinlaw got the pressure, but Ambry, there's so many corners there, young corners, guys in their first, second, or third year. It would take them an extra step or two, and they wouldn't have perfect footwork. If you can slow this thing down, look at his footwork. Back pedal, turn, flip, boom, 2 hands on it, get down. Beautiful. Just absolutely thing of beauty. So there you go. To me, the 49er defensive effort in this game was absolutely huge. And if there was one thing that you could say about this defensive effort, team effort. I mean, think about all the different guys we just highlighted in this video. Mooney Ward, Dre Greenlaw, Jair Brown, Ambry Thomas, Fred Warner, Diamador Lenore, Javon Hargrave, Nick Bosa, Cleveland Farrell, Eric Armstead, that's 10. Randy Gregory, 11. Kevin Givens, 12. 12 different 49er defensive players made key plays in the game. My favorite being the Ambry Thomas, break on the ball and the perfect footwork on the interception. Beautiful coverage play by Thomas. So overall, really strong defensive effort by the 49ers. The defense, the old saying, defense travels. Well, we're going to find out next week because they're going to Philly and they need that win if they want home field advantage in the NFC playoffs. But the Niner defense, since the addition of Chase Young up front, the getting Greenlaw and Warner fresher at the bye, and switching out Oliver for Ambry Thomas on the back end, has made the 49ers better on all 3 levels of their defense. And they're balling. They're playing excellent football going into week 13. All right, thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to Mojo Fantasy for sponsoring this video. And thanks to all you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.